weekend. It is Super Wild Card Weekend in the NFL. We have made it to the playoffs, ladies and gentlemen, and we're ready to rock and roll with wild card matchup. And it's weird. We talked about this a lot over the course of, leading in, who would get in. We finally have the matchups. And it's interesting the fact that we have some of the matchups that we have. We have some double-digit spreads in some of these matchups. We have some that, you're just like, what else are we supposed to expect from these? But we're going to break them down for you here. We got some best bets to go with them as well. So we're going to make sure that you guys know what we like in each of these, and we're going to keep rolling through. So, Scotty, I'm going to take a quick code yellow. I'm going to take the first code yellow of the night.
Wow. Like hour 15 in.
I know. And who would have had the over on me, or the under on me getting the first code yellow of the night? But I'm going to take first code yellow. I'm going to get you started off on Seahawks 49ers.
You gave me the best matchup. Thank you. So this kicks off the NFL playoffs. This will be Saturday, the first game on Saturday of 2. And we got the upstart Seattle. I mean, obviously, if you're talking before the season, I think most people felt Seattle certainly a bottom 5 team in the NFL. Testament to them and Pete Carroll. Oh, I didn't even mention this, though. Pete Carroll's another name I've heard rumored that he might be ready to hang it up as well. Like that one I've heard a little bit through the grapevine that Pete Carroll could decide to call it a career. He is the oldest coach in the NFL. It'd be kind of weird timing, but if he, proved that he could win without Russ for a season and it was like, all right, I'm good. Here you go. Hands the keys over to somebody else. But what a coaching job. Like nobody talks about him in the coach of the year sweepstakes, but for them to be in the playoffs and win 9 football games is incredible with a roster that we thought was going to be depleted severely. And now they're facing the 49ers, who have won 10 straight. I think all of them by double digits. Have been dominating teams. Brock Purdy coming in as the 3rd string quarterback and playing, for the most part, lights out football and doing everything he needs to. You have weapons all around him. You got great coaching with Kyle Shanahan and his offensive scheme to go with Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel and George Kittle and Brandon Ayuk. There's weapons all over on this offense, and the defense is one of, if not the best defense in the league. So certainly playing great coming into this. This looks like a mismatch on paper. They played twice this year, and it was a bit of a mismatch in those 2 games. With the 49ers, taking care of business pretty easily, especially on the defensive end. They won 27-7 and 21-13. So, especially defensively, Geno Smith and Seattle couldn't really get anything going against that offense. So, we'll see. I mean, I think the whole world's expecting San Fran to kind of run away with this one. I kind of do too, although if I had to lean, this isn't one of my bets of the week. At 10, I would actually probably slightly lean Seattle at 10. It's kind of fluctuated between 10 and 9.5. At 9.5, I wouldn't touch it. At 10, I'd maybe lean that way just because that's a lot of points in a playoff game where Seattle's going to have a me against the world mentality. And let's keep in mind that, San Fran does have a rookie quarterback that's only played in, 5 or 6 games in his career so far. So, a lot of times when the biggest lights come on in the playoffs, he hasn't shown that yet, but when the playoffs hit, some guys kind of, cripple a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, first game Saturday. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, so this is one of my best bets of the week, and I'm going to take the San Francisco 49ers minus 9. This is such a lot. I got 9.5. So, I got it before 10. Maybe, 10's fine. But I love it a little bit more at 9.5. So, look, Seattle is weak at defending the run. Shanahan can exploit that. The 49ers have a good running game. Deebo, McCaffrey. I feel like they can exploit that. Seahawks give up 5 yards per carry over the course of the season. So, Seattle limped into the finish line as a good story. Does that sound familiar? TCU was a good story going into their matchup. Geno is a great story, and it's been an incredible ride. But you're up against a good team like San Francisco with a good defense. and you're playing a division rival that's going to be super tough for you. Seattle lost 5 of 8 down the stretch, and 2 of those wins were against the Rams, who had nothing to play for. So Rams were pretty much done. Massive mismatch. I mean, take Purdy out and run McCaffrey and Debo in the Wildcat all game long, and they still win this game.
Stop it.
I'm telling you.
No, stop it.
Coaching edge goes to San Francisco. Maybe I'm a little exaggerating there, but
Yeah.
I'm kind of not. I just think that this game is just too lopsided. I think this will be more of a 49ers route. I have it at 9.5. I like it at 9.5. I think this is pretty much. I think it's pretty much a blow up.
The reason I think that Seattle will hang is because they're division opponents. They face them for the third time. They play every year close games, typically. So that's why I shy away a little bit. Of course, I think San Fran's a better team and will win this game. But there's just a little bit of... I mean, they did play a couple weeks ago, and it was an 8-point win for San Fran. So this isn't like a foregone conclusion that San Fran's just going to annihilate them.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, I feel good about... And I also got San Fran, and I have a couple... I wanted to get a couple weird bets in this weekend. So one of which is I have a 3 as one of my picks. I have a 3-team money line parlay just to pick straight up. So that one pick...
That bet, by the way, has got to be like minus 160 or something. That's a layup bet, Chris.
Minus 475.
I got minus 122 when I placed it. So,
okay,
boom. It was actually, I got a good value early in the week when I placed that. So it ended up panning out. But I think the 49ers route this one. 42.5 is the over under here. So, yeah, this will be an interesting one. But this will be the first one to kick off the weekend. Next up.
So I was going to have someone come in for that game.
Oh, no, let's do it. Who do we got?
Oh. You're in.
Who do we got?
Here.
Is that Health?
Yep, I'm here.
What's up,
It's
Health?
really quiet for some reason.
What's going up, Health? Can you speak into your microphone?
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm here. Yeah.
You sound thrilled to be here, Health. You called us.
Hey, it's been an interesting day so far as we have the episode today.
Hey, by the way,
yeah.
guys, if you guys can you throw the link in the chat for you guys so we can give you guys some love. Go if you don't know, Helv and Rec and the boys have their stream
Monkey?
on YouTube.
Don't leave
Monkey
out
and
of
Monkey. Where is Monkey now?
He's gonna have a word with you.
That's fine. What
What do you got on this one, Helv?
So all I know is, in my personal opinion, we're probably gonna get clobbered hell and back by a bunch of San Franciscanites, basically. So, but if I had to choose, I have to go against my boys. I will have to probably take money line San Francisco minus 475.
Ooh, it's a lot of juice.
Got to throw down a lot of change to get a payday there.
But I'm not gonna throw that much.
Juice is worth a squeeze there, Helv, with that kind of juice.
Yeah. All I know is we're probably gonna get boned.
The SCG's like $1.
Probably 250.
Yeah.
I mean, is San Fran? I feel it's like in most people's eyes, San Fran's like become the prohibitive favorite in the NFC to make it to the Super Bowl.
Well, I have a boy. So my boy that I follow on Sportsline, probably the guy I trust the most, is Mike McClure on Sportsline. He's got a lot of analytics. He's very good at what he does, and he's a Chiefs fan. He's number one. Those are his boys. He's got he's got the Chiefs and the Niners in the Super Bowl, and going with his model. And that's what he likes, based off of what he's seeing. So with that, it seems like, I don't know, just from my sources, I have a lot of love coming for the San Francisco 49ers in the NFC, being the best team on that side of the bracket.
I am gonna say something though for what we did in the podcast. Although I said when we got to the NFC Championship, I voted against the 49ers winning against whoever we were thinking of going through, which was the Giants.
I
can understand where I'm like, my mind's like,
wait, what? Oh, you had the Giants in the 2022 season into 2023 NFC Championship game?
Yeah.
Did the other teams?
I'm committing a bit of chaos.
You woke up and chose chaos that day.
Well, the problem with that is the Giants would likely, actually, the Giants would 100% play the 49ers in the divisional round if they won.
Yeah.
Unless
Not unless, because the Giants are the 6th seed, Seahawks are the 7, so the Giants would be the highest seed remaining. Oh no, they'd play Philly. Never mind, I'm wrong. They'd play Philly. What am I talking about?
To the NFC Championship, I'm saying if this is the case, I am saying Giants over 49ers.
So you think the Giants beat obviously Minnesota and then beat Philly the following week, both on the road?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
A little bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
a lot of bits.
Here's what you got to do. Bet that all the way through. Look at this dude.
If I could.
Bruh.
At least
He's going on a limb. He's not taking chalk. I can respect that.
Yeah.
I can respect that. I don't know if I see it that way. I don't know if the Giants are the team I'm like, I would hang my, what's the expression? Like
hang my hat.
my hat too. Thank you. I was gonna say horse, and I'm like, that's not right.
No.
You don't hang your horse to it.
Nice.
You shouldn't hang a horse ever. That would be awful. What's up, Cosmic Kitty? How you doing?
Kitty, by the way, we have some things to talk to you. First of all, she says, I always squeeze the juice when it comes to betting. Let's go. And then also, Cosmic, the kitties have been eating good based off of our bets over the course of the year. We have some more bets for you tonight. So the kitties will maybe get to those steak dinners. Maybe you could, cut those steaks up real nice. We have some bets for you tonight. But we heard a rumor that you may have had an addition to your family, and you may have named that addition Scotty. Is that true?
Is that true, Cosmic?
And what was the thought process?
The reasoning.
Yeah, of that. Always, my Amazon shares have been doing pretty good. There you go. Okay, Cuban, you can hang like a horse. Of course.
But if you like a horse, don't hang it. Yeah. That's a good point.
Hey-o, it's getting spicy in here.
I might as well.
We're ready to ActionLab again.
Say this. For me and Reckoning and a couple of other guys that are part of another server, we do want to say, hey, rest in peace, Uche, as well.
Yeah.
Because we're still remembering you since your passing that happened on December 30th.
Yep.
This last year.
Kind of got lost in translation with some of the other things, and it unrightfully so. That should have been, respected too. Obviously, another loss in the NFL that, not great. So appreciate that.
Yeah, way too soon for you guys that don't know. Former Jaguar.
Yep.
Became a YouTuber.
Yep.
Yeah.
So let's see. What else do we got?
It
Scott
is true, Chris.
Came away from Maine. Scotty been making me money and to name it in his honor.
All the way from Maine and named it after me. I am so honored. That's a lot of pressure moving forward.
That's a lot of pressure.
Blow it.
Also,
because I hope, Cosmic, no matter what happens, don't take it out on Scotty the cat, okay? Don't do that.
But
keep feeding him.
Scotty the kitty wasn't cheap. So obviously you were able to afford based off of the bankroll too. So that's good. Unknown, what's going on, Unknown? How we doing?
I was about to say something that you also guys got a redeem if you can't say nothing. If you can't say something nice, you basically have to say something nice about either roughing
Lions
and or passer. I mean the Lions. From McDonald's.
We have to say something
something nice about the Lions.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like the Lions moving forward, by the way. I think the Lions, and this is way too early. This may be a hot take, but the Lions may challenge for that division next year.
Yeah. I agree.
No,
I mean-
I don't think that's much of a stretch at all. I mean, obviously they were hot to end the year. They had the best point differential. They were the only one with a plus point differential in the NFC North this year at plus 26. Minnesota -3, Green Bay -1, Chicago -137. So no, and they're up and coming. They have a lot of, some draft picks they get to use at their disposal. Thank you, Matthew Stafford. So they have the pieces in place. Dan Campbell's kind of got this team feeling good about themselves, and obviously not making the playoffs was probably disappointing, but they're riding that momentum into next year.
Lions can get a defense. Watch out, says Hauser. Yeah, 100%. I think so too. I'm with you, Hauser. I mean, they improve a couple pieces. I will join the Discord and post a picture of the stream. Yes, Cosmic, do it.
Can't wait to see this kitty.
Scotty,
Can't wait.
you
I
know
heard we have similar whiskers.
similar
so
whiskers, yeah.
Good looking cat. Good looking cat. SCG, I saw earlier. Oh, great. Scotty's ego is as big as the universe now.
Seriously, Scotty's ego is like, you need to,
Ooh, I gotta
Scotty.
adjust this headset, dude. It
You
doesn't even
ne-
fit anymore.
Scotty, can
I
you
gotta make it a little larger.
you need to
RELAX.
RELAX.
I'm relaxed. I'm nothing if not humble, Chris. That's one of my
Oh, sure, yeah. Get out of here.
one of my
Sit down.
finest traits is my humility.
Yeah.
So
Of course.
Just exit out.
Questionable, but I'll consider it.
yeah, he's gonna consider it. Chris, real quick before you hop into the next game, you can keep chatting. I'm gonna do a code yellow myself, real quick.
Yeah. Let's
I go
see.
yellow.
Second Eagles Giants game. Spam code yellow in the chat, by the way, guys. All of you guys spam code yellow for Scotty and for, I think, Rec, you said your code yellow as well.
No.
Second Eagles Giants game was 22-16. Oh, who knows? We've seen stranger things in the playoffs. Says Doc. What else? Guys. Shh.
No.
Chairman's telling us to relax about his
REL.
his Detroit Lions.
No.
I'm hoping no one swoops in and takes Ben Johnson from us. All right. Well, guys. By the way, when we get into our draft, there's no other place you should be outside of the Action Lab for our annual draft. We will make sure that you guys absolutely know everything there is to know. I was in Las Vegas last year. If we're not in Las Vegas, we're going to do it that much bigger here in the lab. So make sure you guys are here for that. All right. Anything else, Helv?
I know I accidentally saw a peeping Rachel off of Scott's cam, but anyways, hi Rachel.
When was
hope you're
that?
enjoying
Just
it.
now?
No, well, we were talking about earlier,
Oh.
but
I
I was
missed it.
surprised when we had that. But and apart from that, if you guys want to go support us,
Yeah.
I'll
Go,
be around.
guys, go give Helv, Rec, all you guys over there, the Sports Disaster some love. Make sure you go give them a subscription there on YouTube.
Alrighty.
Thank you for all the support, Helv. Appreciate your love,
No
bro.
worries. Enjoy your night.
All right.
All right. See ya.
All right. Next up, we have the Chargers and Jags, which interesting match. This is probably one of the more fascinating matchups of the weekend. And honestly, you have a 2.5. I got it at 2.5. Scotty, both of us did. This is our best bet of the week. I ended up so for the longest time I was back and forth between Minnesota -3 and Giants +3, and I was like working that game. I was like, I cannot figure this one out because everything I look at is so split on that game. So I went to this game, which is just as equally tough because of where these teams are in the current state. And right now, the Jags playing really good football. Chargers, they've had a rough start to the season. They got better. Then they're kind of all over the place. The last game of the season does not give them a lot of momentum going into the playoffs. They lose to the Broncos in a game that they were trying to win, and then they decided, oh, no, just kidding. We weren't trying to win that game. But Jacksonville, winners of 5 straight to make the playoffs. Chargers have 1 win against a winning team, and that was Miami over the course of the year. So Jacksonville willing to commit to the run. There's a couple things here that I think that are interesting with this game. if the Jacksonville Jaguars can run the football in this matchup, it's going to be the key to everything. Because obviously the Chargers, what are they not good at? They're not good at defending the run. So if the Jacksonville Jaguars can establish a running game in this matchup and continue to take the ball out of the hands of the Chargers and put up points using the running game, I think the Jaguars win this game. I do. I think that's a really plausible thing that could happen. The issue I have with this game on the other side is that the Jags aren't very good against the pass. Williams got hurt last week, but he's not injured bad enough to not play in this game. I think he's going to play in this game, but he's not going to be 100%. And the Jaguars do not defend the pass as well as they probably could. So, of this matchup, I adjusted you, Scotty, for this matchup. I know it's one of your bets of the week. I adjusted you to +2.5 because that's where it's at. You had +2. I adjusted you to +2.5 based off of what I was seeing in FanDuel. And
Oh boy.
I also have +2.5, knowing the fact that I think the Jaguars can establish the run against the Chargers and control the pace of the game with the running game because the Chargers do not defend the run. And if they can do that and control the pace of the game and control the ball, it's going to be too hard for Justin Herbert to get in a good rhythm. I mean, Mike Williams isn't going to be 100%. He will play, I believe. He's not as injured as everyone thinks he was going out of that last game. But
I don't know that we know that for sure. I mean, that's what they've kind of said. But I'm pretty sure he didn't practice today. And they play on Saturday.
Well, either way, he's not going to be 100%, regardless if he plays or not. So,
idiot! What an idiot Staley is.
Yeah, and against a throwaway game against the Broncos, right? Side note: I put a $40 bet on an 8,000 plus prop bet. The Texans Colts last week opening drive, they killed the bet. Chris, what happened, man? What happened?
What'd they kill the bet for? I don't know what happened on the opening drive.
Total combined score 10 or less, says Chris. There you go.
That of the opening drive? Yeah, they would have to. That might have been a typo. They should have had to pay out on that. They blew it.
Yeah.
They made a mistake.
Yeah.
I think this is maybe the matchup of the weekend, honestly, Chris.
This is a great one.
You look at Jacksonville, winners of 5 straight. I mean, at one point they were what, 2-6 or 7, 2-7 maybe.
1-6.
No, because they were 2-1 after the first 3 weeks.
Yeah, no, they're winners of 5 straight to make the playoffs.
I know they're winners of 5 straight. And then the Chargers obviously have been playing really, really good football as of late. I know they lost to Denver in a game that they didn't really have anything to play for, but also played their starters far too long. So it's a little confusing there. But they were winners of 4 straight prior to that loss against Denver with nothing to play for last week. So we finally get to see everyone's favorite quarterback in the world finally gets to see what he can offer in the playoffs, Chris. Justin Herbert.
Battle for sunshine.
Now, Chris, I was actually watching Colin Cowherd's. Well, I wasn't watching his show. I just saw a clip where he was ranking quarterbacks that he would want over the next 5 years.
Yep.
So he had Mahomes 1. I think he had Burrow 2, Allen 3, Herbert 4, Trevor Lawrence 5.
Yeah. Trevor Lawrence is up and coming. What's up, Rach?
Rach, here, say hi.
Hey,
am I going the right direction?
Let's get a.
What's up? It's a little delayed for you, Rach. Sorry.
What's up, Rach? How we doing? Everyone loves you in the chat, Rach.
They're all disappointed that we're going to be painting the wall. They love the wall right now. They love it. And I can't disagree with him. And then his point was after those 5 quarterbacks, I don't know who, there is no 6. There is no 6. He's maybe at one point it was Lamar, but now Lamar's beat up. We don't know what to expect of him. I don't know. Maybe you could people are high on Jalen Hurts. Maybe a guy like that. I don't know. Anyway, So we have a really, really intriguing matchup with two young quarterbacks, first time for both in the postseason that have been playing good football. So I'm looking forward to this game Saturday night a ton. I just think the wrong team's favored here, Chris. Like I think they're pretty even across the board as far as, and with the Jaguars being at home field, I know they don't always have the best home field advantage, but for a playoff game, first playoff game they've had at home, in at least several years, they're going to be hyped for it. I think this game could go back and forth. I think both teams are going to be able to put up some points. And I like the Jags to come out on top. I really do.
By the way, side note, home dogs of less than 3 are 8-1 against the spread in the wild card round.
Love it.
Just throwing out some stats for you guys.
Except for one of my other bets.
Except for one of your other stats for yo ass. There you go. So there you go. This will be, honestly, I'm going to probably be glued to this game. And rightfully so, because we both have this at plus 2.5. And I think you're right. Like, what do the Chargers do at the most important times of the season, Scotty?
They choke.
It's true.
Always have. Always will.
So this won't be any different, but Cuban's in for it. He says it's a fun game to watch.
And if Mike Williams isn't fully healthy, let's keep in mind, he was carted off and reportedly couldn't walk to the bus after the game.
He won't be 100% this week.
Like, I know you can always shoot him up, but first of all, the Charger doctor shooting anybody up is a little dangerous. Ask Tyrod Taylor. So you gotta look out for that. So I just don't think Mike Williams is going to be fully healthy. I think Staley's to blame. It'll be interesting because he's a huge piece. I think he's more important than Keenan Allen to that receiving core at this point in Keenan's career.
You're terrified of him for your Chiefs.
He destroys the Chiefs every time. Every damn time.
So Justin Herbert reminds me of the QB from the movie Clash of the Titans. LOL. Says Cosmic Kitty.
And Trevor Lawrence is Remember the Titans. So he's sunshine.
Yeah.
They're all in over the Titans.
Yeah. Paint. By the way, Hauser has a recommendation. Paint a different color, except leave the blue squares. They like the blue squares.
Okay. Well, Rach, one person suggests that we keep the blue squares, but paint the rest of the wall a different color. She's nodding like, yeah, that's exactly what we're doing.
Yeah,
right.
We'll do that.
With a little bit of blue splotch.
Yeah, maybe we'll just do one of those where I just like flick the paintbrush with like a bunch of different colors and it's like abstract and stuff. That'd be nice. I love abstract art. I totally get it.
Yeah.
Just grab a paint bucket.
Splash it around.
Splash it on the wall.
Yeah. Would that be too loud? We don't want to take away from Sean McVay here, Chris.
It's true.
You
know? Let's see. Oops, wrong movie, says Cosmic Kitty. Both teams make other QBs have a nice day. Isn't he 0-2 on shots? Says STG.
I think he meant Tyrod.
Oh. Okay.
Well, he took that one shot to the lungs from his doctor.
Which is how Justin Herbert's career got started.
Exactly.
Milwaukee's Fields over the next few years with amount of money the Bears have to append. But I saw a take on ESPN.
Fields isn't there yet.
I saw a take on ESPN where this dude, I don't know who he was. He was like a guest on the show. He was like, this dude. Look at this dude.
This dude.
He was like, you draft a quarterback with the first overall pick, trade Justin Fields, and you build up like a first rounder and a third round pick, and you just pack in like more value for your team, and you end up like working that direction, scrapping Justin Fields.
I love Justin Fields as a runner. And Justin Fields hasn't proven anything as a passer yet, in my mind. Like, he has to be way more consistent with the ball. He has to get through progressions quicker. He has to be way more accurate, and he needs to get the ball out faster moving forward. I know he doesn't have a lot to work with in Chicago. I get that. But there's a lot, in my opinion, to still be desired, where I don't think that's a crazy take. If they absolutely love let's say a Bryce Young.
Yeah,
and
Bryce
I
Young
think,
would probably
they can
be the pick.
substantially better with Bryce Young, and then they can move Justin Fields. I don't hate that idea, actually. I'm not saying that. I don't think that's what they'll do. I think they'll keep Justin Fields and they'll trade out a number 1. But I don't think that's a wild take.
No,
I feel
I
like
mean, if he's so good, why do they have the number 1 pick?
Oh, the entire team is garbage. They sold off everything worth a damn and tanked.
I think
they traded their second round pick for a wide receiver midseason. That didn't do anything. That was a really dumb. That was a win for.
Yeah.
That was a win for Pittsburgh.
Exactly.
No doubt about that.
The second rounder.
Yep. Yeah, that was a great trade and a really dumb one from Chicago, who has a first-year GM in Ryan Pace.
Ryan Poles got fired.
Sorry, Ryan Poles, who, and I should know this because he came from Kansas City, netting us a couple third-round picks. Appreciate that. Anyway,
Kitty in the chat. This isn't NFL related, but why are they Florida State ranking so high in the preseason rankings for next year? Sorry, no, don't be sorry. Don't.
Mean nothing.
They're just guessing. They were so impressed with how Florida State eked out a win against an bad Oklahoma team in their bowl game, and they're like, we got to put them high. We have to.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I mean, they have some talent for sure, but I don't know. Florida State seems, especially in the past decade, ever since they won with Jameis Winston, to be underachieving every year.
Yeah. Who do you think will go after the number 1 pick? Colts, says SG.
I
don't know. Who would trade up?
Where the Colts are. Like, I mean, it depends on what type of capital. I could see Houston trading up for it. First of all, I could see Houston moving from 2 to 1.
And which is so. We talked about this last stream. How bad does it feel that you have to? You were in line to get it for free, and then Lovie Smith is like, "You gonna fire me? All right, here. All right, I'm out. I'm gonna win this game. Screw you guys." Now you got to trade capital and trade assets to move up 1 spot to get your guy that you were getting for free otherwise. Like
my only question is, are we sure that Bryce Young's that dude?
I don't know.
I like Bryce Young, the player, but he is undersized, and not only is he short, he's not very stocky. So I worry about how his body holds up with a lot of hits in the NFL, because he's pretty thin as well. Listen, there's another quarterback who in college right now that would be the unanimous number 1 pick if he was eligible for the draft this year, but he's not. So if that's the case, are we sure that people should be selling the farm for the number 1 pick? But as far as teams, teams get desperate. Let me look at the draft order, because I don't think if you're Chicago, you don't want to move too far back. And really, Chicago needs to stay, quite frankly, probably, I mean, ideally top 3 and get one of those 2 defensive linemen, either Carter from Georgia or Anderson from Alabama.
And I told you guys this earlier, guys. If you guys aren't here in the Action Lab for our NFL draft special coming up this year, there's no other place you need to be. Guys, last year, like I said, we were in Las Vegas for that. Hopefully they send Scotty to Kansas City this year. That would be awesome. I don't know if that's going to happen based off of how things are happening with Twitch, so we'll see. Mm-hmm. But we will no doubt have the best draft coverage of any Twitch stream on the planet. I guarantee you. Make sure you guys are here. Hit that follow button if you have not already.
Yeah, 1 for 2 and 12. All right, Milwaukee's.
Yeah, I'm just looking. Obviously, quarterback needy teams in the top 10. You got Houston, Indy,
Seattle.
Seattle and Detroit are debatable.
They should go for
Vegas, Atlanta.
Vegas wants Tom Brady.
Carolina, obviously. I don't know why Tom Brady would want to go to Vegas, quite frankly. Tom Brady picks teams that have a defense.
Yeah.
He just does. And guess who doesn't have a defense? The Las Vegas Raiders.
They're just hoping he wants to reunite with his buddy Josh McDaniels.
What a tandem. I hope they blow up in flames.
It's the Raiders. What else are they gonna do?
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Well, they do beat the Broncos every time they play. I think the Raiders have like a 6-game winning streak against you guys to go along with our 15 for a cool 21 straight against those two opponents.
Let me check that real quick. Actually,
I think
Raiders
Vegas
versus Broncos history.
By the way, can I tell you the thing that the not conspiracy? It's not a conspiracy, but the whole ring around the rosy with the against the Raiders of what like some of the true meaning was behind that. Did you see some of that?
I don't know if I for sure know specifically what you're talking about. So go ahead.
So
I mean, I know what play you're talking about, but
it goes back to when the Raiders were like doing their antics with the Chiefs and like going off to their like having their team meeting in the middle of the field, but then after the game doing the circle around the stadium and the whole like ring around the stadium, driving around, and like there's some conspiracy saying like, oh, the Chiefs are just throwing it back at the Raiders for being a little bit too cocky and throwing it back at the Chiefs, and it's rightfully so.
could be. It was the year the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, I think, several years ago, where the Raiders went ahead and beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead, and yeah, they took a victory lap in their bus around the stadium. John Gruden was like, "We're going around again," and that word got around, and I don't think the Chiefs liked it much, so they haven't lost to him since. And
you are right. The Broncos, Broncos have not beaten the Raiders since they were in Oakland, which is a 6-game losing streak.
Yeah,
nice.
We'll get there.
Nice. Hey, but you have a 1-game winning streak against the Chargers, so that's good. You know, that's good. Look up another stat for me real quick, Rhett, because I'm not sure on this one. What is Patrick Mahomes' career record against the AFC West on the road?
Wall
16-0.
I know. I was joking. I know exactly what it is.
Yeah,
real quick. And then we lose Scott. See,
and he's gone.
And he's gone because that's what happens when Scotty gets a little too excited, and then all of a sudden he
kick me off.
No,
That wasn't me. That was not me.
it's all right, Scotty. Well,
I think it was Chris.
no, I haven't touched anything. I don't touch the controls, man. But welcome back. You got too excited and too
conspiracy theory. I don't like it.
By the way,
I know my mouse is potato.
Dr. J will be in Colorado Springs in June. How far is that from where you guys are located? Not too far.
Probably 45 to an hour.
45, 50 minutes, depending on where you are in Springs. But it's manageable, which makes it so that maybe if we get enough people, June, we're far enough out, maybe we do a little ActionLab get-together in June for Dr. J and everyone local and everyone. It'll be a good time. Let's make it happen.
She could probably tell you the different bones of the body, Chris.
Yeah, no.
That would be very helpful to know.
Yeah, because the knee bone is connected to the shin bone.
Mm-hmm.
but not for Correa. Not for Correa. So there you go. Maybe there's more notice. This is Cuban.
Cuban's fully booked in June already.
Yeah. Next up, we have the Dolphins at the Bills. Now, this is an interesting one because originally this line was like, I think it was like 8 or 9 or something like that. And then it kind of, once we found out that Tua wasn't playing, he's ruled out. Looks like Skylar Thompson's going to be the guy looking to start for the Dolphins under center. It ballooned out to 13. I think it's 13 and a half. I don't know what it's at right now, but let me double check what the current line is. But at the very juncture, last time I saw 13 and a half for the Buffalo Bills. And with this kind of spread, I'm like, I liked it when it was at like 8, 9, not at 13 as much. I kind of paused a little bit. And this is actually part of my moneyline parlay of the week. It's one of my best bets, and it's one of the legs of that. I have the Bills beating the Dolphins here. And
what?
Go figure. Who knew?
Upset alert. Chris has the Bills beating the Dolphins.
I mean, the Bills
almost. Sorry.
Yeah, no, the Bills are just a better team. Obviously. Yeah, you don't say. Everybody knows that that's probably going to be the outcome in this matchup. So, you know what? You're getting the value. I parlay 3 teams to just win this weekend, and you get some value from that. So that's my second leg of 3 of my money line parlay. That, by the way, if you're new to money line betting, it's just picking a team to win and then the odds associated with those. So, for instance, Buffalo's minus 750 here. You're taking that, parlaying it with 2 other teams to just win straight up. That's it. That's all you got to do. Bills are obviously the better team. Go ahead.
Well, hold on. I might have to redo those bets anyway. Clear all. I'm gonna see what that your money line parlay is right now.
Yeah,
you got it at minus 122. It doesn't even see minus 122 right now. It doesn't even know what minus 122 is.
Yeah, I think I hit it capped out at 122 when I put it in, but that was again earlier in the week. So that was before it kind of changed.
Minus 156 right now.
Okay, so I got a good value on it there. But Buffalo, I think their pass defense is going to be solid in this one. Obviously against Skyler, I don't know if he's going to have a lot of success here from the offenses. I mean, up to Buffalo, you're going to have a potential Damar Hamlin in the crowd. Like, by the way, I don't. Is it weird that I'm like, you should save Damar Hamlin to be in the crowd for like the Cincinnati game?
No, I thought that when you said it. Before you said that, I was like, why waste it for this game?
Yeah, why waste the hype for this one when you know you're going to need that hype for the Cincinnati game? Because Damar Hamlin, the story obviously of the the whole year practically. I mean, it took over the whole NFL and everything. So him being there at the stadium is going to be such a boost. They're going to probably have him there for this Dolphins game, which adds more to the hype of this Bills to win this game for him. So with that being said, I love the Bills in this one. If there was any side that I wanted to take from a spread standpoint, I think of anything, I would lead more towards like the under in this one more so than anything else if I was going to bet it. Under 43.5. And I don't know. I just think that I don't see a lot of points coming from the Miami side in this. So if I had a lean, it would be towards that side, but I didn't bet it.
What would be
I don't have a lean in this game at all.
What would be the payout on a shutout?
Well, that would pay out a lot.
It would probably pay out a lot.
Yeah, it might be a good idea to bet the Dolphins going 0.
I don't think they're going to score 0. I mean, with the odds you get, maybe you could do that, but I'd have to. That might take a while to find.
I mean, with an over under of 43 and the Dolphins scoring 0, I mean that's pretty unlikely. I mean,
well, what was the wild card weekend Bills Patriots game last year? That was basically. Let me look that up. What was the score of that game? It was 47-17. Okay, so the Patriots did put up 17. I think some of those might have been very late, but yeah.
The Bills scored on every drive.
Yep, did not fail to score at any point. Chris, I will say I don't think the Bills are playing their best football of the season going into the playoffs. I think if you're a Bills fan, you have a little bit concerned that you're just not where maybe the Bills team should be at this juncture. They've had some struggles, some battles at times when maybe you shouldn't. Some at times even Josh Allen looking a little inconsistent.
Yeah.
But this Dolphins team just made the playoffs, winning their first game in like a year, 9-6. They won 9-6 last week with a last second game winning field goal. It's a rookie third string quarterback. I mean, maybe Mike McDaniel just puts together this elite game plan to just get the ball immediately in like Tyreek and Waddle's hands and figure out things like that. Because they can't, I don't know. He's just not good enough to exploit this Buffalo defense. And Buffalo should roll in this game, but like I'm so turned off by this game because of how bad I think Miami might be. But I don't have a great feel because I think it's hard if you're the Bills to even. I mean, I know it's a playoff game, so you're going to be like up for it, but are you going to be fully up for it? Like, I mean, I know, and listen, they were great storylines last week. They came back the first, not one but two kickoff returns, including the first play of the game. Like, that stuff's not repeatable though either. That's not going to happen this week. I just don't have a great feel.
Yeah,
I think Buffalo should blow them out, but they may not have their A game.
Yeah, fair enough.
I just have a weird feeling that they're not going to have their A game.
I'm not, and that's a reason why a lot of people love the Cincinnati Bengals more so than the Buffalo Bills going into the playoffs. I mean, Cincinnati playing really good football at the right time of the year. They had a couple injuries at the end of the season, so I'm kind of a little, there's a couple things there that I'm keeping an eye on. But I mean, I would say that Buffalo has kind of not been as dominant as I would have thought they were, given the fact that they've been so high up on everybody's list for the most part of the season, right? So
I'm worried about their secondary. I'm worried about their pass rush a little bit. Obviously, losing Vaughn is big. There's pieces there I'm worried about, and then at times they even in the New England game for 2 to 3 quarters they scored points, but like Josh Allen did not look like Josh Allen.
Yeah.
And then eventually they turned it on late, but like you can't afford to do that in the playoffs. Maybe you can against Miami, but not if you got Cincy the following week or KC the following week or whoever.
No Tua equals higher line, 100%. Correa's contract negotiations. Dolphins with the Tyreek passing game to himself. Cosmic. I noticed you said you wanted to grow on TikTok. You should get in touch with Amanda. Amanda Lorian, I think, is what works at TikTok. I didn't know that.
Oh.
Let's talk. Let's maybe do some TikTok stuff. Talk some TikTok. We need to grow. By the way, again, socials. We are trying to grow socials, especially TikTok and YouTube. So make sure you guys, if you're here, make sure you follow those if you have not already, because that is huge for us, and we're trying to grow those more and more. We want to grow our community, and there's a lot of good things to come with, these other social media platforms. So, and then hit the follow button here if you're not already. That too. Did Vaughn have to get that first surgery? That resulted in worse injury, says Cuban. I mean, you would love to have Vaughn now.
Vaughn's going to do what Vaughn's going to do.
Yeah.
You don't ask Vaughn questions, though. He gets upset sometimes when you ask him questions.
Yeah. Next up, we have Giants and Vikings. And I was on initially, so when I was giving my picks of the week to Scotty this afternoon, that I was originally on Giants. Then I switched to Vikings. Then I switched back to Giants this afternoon. And then I was like, if I'm switching back and forth between these two teams and I don't know which side because I'm looking at all these different spots and I'm like, I don't know what to expect from this game, I might as well not bet it because that's going to be bad news for me. So I stayed there's only one bet I have from an actual game standpoint with this, and it's going to be more on the total as opposed to anything else. I'm not on a side, but from this standpoint, I am leaning more towards the under in this game. I think if I was, and I'll get to that in a second, but one of the reasons why I loved the Vikings -3 in this game was the fact that they're big playability. They're at home. That's a good home field advantage in this one. And they have just the big time playmakers that can swing a game. And in addition, the Vikings have won a lot of close games this year. Vikings have been a team that know how to win close games. And Joker, you're in the chat. You're a Vikings fan. Vikings are going to win. I agree. This game scares me. Yeah, like it's a strange one because like these two teams are both very similar this year. We both were the Vikings we knew were going to be
wildly overrated. Is that what you're trying to say, Chris?
I mean, kind of.
If these two teams weren't playing each other, I'd probably bet against both of them.
Yeah, it's just both of these teams I just don't know. And so with that being said, I think the both the running games are going to get going in this one, especially from the Giants side, which is going to slow down the pace of the game. I got this at 49.5. I think it might be currently. Let me double check where we're at with this one, but currently the line on this game is 40. Is that right? 43.5.
What? No. I mean, I'm only looking at ESPN's website, which is based off Caesars, but it's 48.
48. So I got a 49.5. So I got, I don't know. Maybe I didn't refresh my browser here for a second. I don't know. It was on like an old. Anyway, I like the under in this game a little bit more than anything else. But Scotty, where are you at in this one?
I went back and forth. Let's keep in mind, Chris, normally when we make our locks of the week and it's 4 bets, there's a lot more games available for us to find games that we love a lot. I don't even know. And I'm taking Giants +3. I'm taking Giants +3 as one of my bets of the week. Do I love it? No. But in a game where I think both these teams, like you look at it, both teams were outscored on the season. You know, I'll say it again, in point differential, they both got outscored overall. So these aren't exactly elite football teams. I do like what, the Giants a couple weeks ago looked phenomenal in closing out their playoff spot. It seems like the ball's done a phenomenal job and should be right in the mix, if not the leader in the clubhouse for Coach of the Year. Danny Dimes is looking a little more confident. That offense is kind of building confidence from rapport. And Minnesota can win a game and lose a game in an instant. They can look out of it and they'll come back. They can be up a ton and they'll let the other team back in it. Like, whatever happened in the first half for Minnesota, the opposite probably is happening in the second half. Regardless of whether they're the team leading or losing, the opposite is going to happen in a game where I really feel like these are pretty evenly matched teams that could go either way. I'm just going to take the team that I get plus value with. Like, obviously we talk about it all the time. The Vikings win close 1-score games. So against a Giants team, if I can get +3 with the Giants, worst case, maybe I push and the Vikings do win by 3 or something like that. But I just lean Giants in this one, and I think that'll be a popular pick, honestly. And what Kirk Cousins are you going to get? Obviously, I think this is Daniel Jones's. Well, it has to be Danny Dimes' first playoff game, so we also don't know what we're going to get there. But Kirk Cousins has had some real bad playoff games, and I know they had he just hasn't played in the playoffs like he has in the regular season throughout his tenure in Minnesota. So, so that's why I am on Giants +3 on this one.
And G Girl pops in the chat just in time to talk about Giants.
G Girl.
So shout out to G Girl for all she does over there on her channel. Make sure you go give her some love. She's all about the NFL. Hope you're feeling better, G Girl. She's been battling some health stuff. Scotty, so Scotty analysis is all about the kitties. I trust Scott in his analysis. So do the cats. LOL. If there's one game, Scotty, what game would you bet the most money on this week? Well, we do have our best bets, but Scott, if you want to throw out what game you feel the best about, you're more than welcome to do so.
I like the Jags game quite a bit. I also have I like the Jags enough that I paired them up in a teaser as well. So my favorite bet, and now I still think you can get a good teaser on it. I would tease my best bet of the week would probably be teasing Jaguars up to +8 and teasing the Bengals down. I think now they're at 8.5. Earlier they were at 7 and I got it down to 1. But do a 6-point teaser, getting Bengals down to -2.5 to pair with Jags +8.5. That would be my favorite bet of the week. I think both those games should be pretty tight regardless, or not pretty tight. I think Cincy should win comfortably, so they should and we'll certainly win that game and should cover 2.5 without a problem. When it sounds like Lamar's not going to play, I know we haven't talked about that game yet, and Jags, I don't see the Jags losing by more than 1 score. I really don't. I think that game will be tight.
Yeah, I think so too. And I mean, there's a lot of interesting ones. I think if I were, and I haven't released my last one, but I think I love my money line parlay, my 3 money line picks for the value that I got them at earlier in the week. The value is kind of slipping a little bit more as the week's gone on, but
now it's closer to -160, which I still think all 3 of those teams are going to win. It's just,
yeah,
I don't often like making bets where I got to lay that much.
Yeah. So we got Valor in the chat waiting backstage for this one, but we're going to get some analysis done, and then we're going to bring Valor in here for Ravens and Bengals. If Football Wife is around, I feel like Football Wife, for as big of a fan, we got to get her in on a call here.
She just said F the Ravens, so she's showing respect to the Ravens. That's
she's
nice.
showing massive respect to the Ravens. Football Wife, I want you at some point, I want you to be backstage with us. I want you to pop on the stream so we can chat with you about your boys. Okay, so we want to make sure that, your voice is heard here. You're, obviously a big supporter of the channel, and you're the biggest Bengals fan that we got. So make sure, if you want to, talk about the Ratbirds and how bad your Bengals are going to crush them this week, this is your chance. I would love to hear you. So, Ravens at Bengals -7, and then this,
I think it's 8.5
it's
now.
8.5 now. Yeah, it's up there now because of the fact that,
it sounds like, and I put the picture at the time of Lamar because I was like, it was a question mark. Still a question mark, but it sounds like Lamar's not going to play this week. And may not play again in a Baltimore uniform.
This line indicates that Lamar's not going to play this game, like based off of the fact that it's gone the other direction.
I think it should be a 10, quite frankly, without Lamar.
Yeah,
I think it should be a 10.
I agreed, and this was almost one of my picks, and then I was like, I don't know. I mean, this is a division matchup in the AFC North. Some of these games can be close and grindy kind of games. So, with that being said, I kind of left it alone. But this one, Bengals, this is one of my best bets of the week as far as the money line parlay. So this is what I'm combining. I have the Bills, I have the Bengals, and I have the Niners, all 3. If you put those 3 in a money line parlay, I was able to get, -122, I believe, on it. It's a lot bigger now later in the week, but it's still not a bad value, but it's a little bit more juice added onto it. If you like juice, like who liked the juice earlier?
Someone was talking about juice and squeezing something, right?
Squeezing the juice at like plus 400 or something. I don't know. Oh, that was it was our friend Helv.
Yeah, Hell was on the stream making that long odds bet.
Yeah. I was like, it's a little too much juice for me. But the juice is worth the squeeze, and it's worth the squeeze here. So Bengals, Niners, and Bills all win this week. That's one of my best bets of the week. Throw those in a money line parlay just to win. And Scotty, I think you like those teams to win as well. 41.5 is the over-under in this one. And again, the Bengals with the potent offense that they have. The Bengals did lose a couple players. I think they lost one of their offensive linemen, if I'm not mistaken, this past week. They're
the last couple weeks,
and
to go along with Lyle Collins, and then they lost their guard,
which
on the left side, I think.
Which is one of the reasons why I give hesitation a little bit to this line being a little bit more inflated, is the fact that maybe somebody has been underrating what the Ravens have been doing on defense, and the fact that there's some injuries and not a lot of people are 100% on that offensive line. So there's some things that I kind of was wary on, but I still love the Bengals in this one. T. Higgins has a high pointer in this. Says Football Wife.
It's a hip. It's a hip.
Oh, hip pointer. Sorry, hip pointer. I'm sorry.
I don't know what a high pointer is, but
a high pointer. That's a hip hop anonymous.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's something to look out for with T. Higgins for sure. And that's why I thought about making the Bengals one of my bets of the week just on the line itself, but I decided I'd just tease them down to win the game, basically down to, in my scenario, it's -1 because I had it when it was at -7 here. So I think the Bengals certainly should win this game. they beat up on the Ravens quite a bit last week. Now you get them again at home. Ravens without Lamar Jackson just don't look like they can compete. And even if Lamar Jackson was playing this game, Lamar hasn't done anything in the playoffs ever in his career to make me believe that he could compete with the Bengals in this game. So I think the Bengals roll, and I think I have them in a teaser. So
Cosmic, someone wished me call me a stuck-up B. By the way, if it's someone from our community, let me know so we can take a look at that. That's obviously super ridiculous. Cosmic, let us know. Not come on, guys. If that's someone from our community,
how do you whisper? I don't even know how you whisper.
It's like a DM, and
it's a DM on Twitch.
It's a DM on Twitch.
With a few people.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, it was me. Cosmic, kidding. I'm just kidding. You named your cat after me. Never.
Cosmic, let us know if that's someone that's let us know so that if that's someone in our community, we can take action on that. By the way, not tolerated here, not in the Action Lab. All right, so Ravens Bengals, we all love. It looks like everyone's on the Bengals, and the Ratbirds. Hey, you can go fly home. You know what I'm saying? Get out of here. So Cowboys and Bucks. Woo, Scotty, you have this as one of your best bets of the week.
I don't even know if I can argue this one, Chris. I'm going with a weird gut feeling. I don't know.
This one, I'm telling you, I didn't want any part of this game. I didn't make this as one of my bets. I didn't want to touch it. I don't know what I'm going to get from Tom Brady. I don't know what I'm going to get from the Cowboys. I don't know what I'm going to get from Dak, the coaching staff. I don't know what I'm doing with this one. I left this alone. Cowboys, 2.5-point favorites in Tampa Bay. So this is going to be another close one. We talked about a lot about this, like similar to the Jacksonville and Charger game, where it's going to be an interesting one. I don't know. Scotty, you have a better feeling on this.
I just like Chris, when you look left and right in, on shows this week, it's what's wrong with Dak Prescott? What's wrong with the Cowboys? People asking Jerry Jones, is Mike McCarthy's job on the line? Like everything towards the Cowboys coming into this is negative. And part of me is like, let's pump the brakes a little bit, okay? Obviously the Cowboys played awful in a game that was borderline meaningless against the Commanders to end the season, but they looked awful. They were playing their starters, didn't look good at all. Prior to that, everyone's like, the Cowboys have been terrible. They'd won 6 of 7 going into the last week. So it's not like, and their loss was a loss at Jacksonville in overtime, which they were up for most of that game and kind of choked it away late. In fact, their last, take the Commanders game out, their other game they lost was also, I think, in overtime against Green Bay like 9 weeks ago or whatever that was. So everyone's, the media is just like the Cowboys are off. Dak's throwing too many interceptions. Now you have Tom Brady. We've seen now that no one's talking about the fact that the Bucks are 8-9, right? They're 8-9 this year. And Tom Brady has not looked like Tom Brady. I know this is the playoffs. Could he turn it on? Absolutely. Could they play a phenomenal football game and beat the Cowboys here? For sure. I could also see him laying an egg. I just have a sneaking suspicion that the Cowboys are going to come out and ball in this one. Like, I didn't even want to I was like, I could tease the Bucks up to 8.5. And I'm like, I don't even know if I feel great about that. Because I think if the Cowboys win this game, they might win big. Because one thing they are pretty good at doing is not taking their hand off the throat, or whatever that saying is. Like, they continue to beat up on teams once they're up. They don't let off. And everyone's talking about what's wrong with the Cowboys, with ignoring the fact that the Bucks were just a bad football team this year. They were 8-9 and fluked into like 4 of those wins, I feel like. So I know it's on the road. I know the Bucks dominated the Cowboys week 1 of this season. we had that game. It was one of the worst Sunday night games ever. It was so boring. We had to make it interesting, and it was difficult to do so. But I just have a gut feeling that the Cowboys are going to ball in this one.
Yeah, and like,
so I got Cowboys -2.5. If you couldn't tell.
Oh, by the way, we gotta get. I forgot to get Valor in for the last game. So we'll get to Valor. Don't go anywhere. Stay backstage.
We'll slide you in the back. Never mind.
Oh my.
Bruh.
Come on, guys.
Dallas.
Guys.
I mean,
Come on.
sorry, Valor. Dallas has the fourth highest points per game output. Like, I mean, they're solid.
What?
When it comes to that aspect of the game. Tampa Bay is 25th. For points allowed, the Cowboys are 5th. The Bucks are 13th. You know, so I think that, you know, there's some areas where they're kind of similar. There's some areas where I feel like one team excels more than another. I like the offense a little bit better with Dallas. Has the public forgotten the Bucks are hold a losing record though? Like the Bucks are a losing team overall in a bad division.
Bucks were -45 point differential this year.
They're a losing team and
worst in their division. That was the worst. They had the worst point differential in their division.
So we have 2 playoff teams with negative point differential.
3.
It's the third.
Giants are negative as well.
Oh my god.
So I think the inconsistency with Dak is the biggest thing, and the fact that he's choked in big games is scary. But the fact that I just think Dallas can put up the points to cover this. I don't know. I lean Dallas. I'm terrified of betting anything on this game. Any one side or another. I know there's a lot of people on the Tampa Bay side +3. I just don't feel confident in Tampa Bay. I just don't. So I left it alone. But if you held a gun to my head tonight and said you need to make a pick on this, I would take Cowboys on the spread. Probably. It's probably where it's probably safe there. So
hopefully this will be a better Monday night playoff game than we had last year when first weekend was Rams Cardinals and the Cardinals lost by about 1 million.
Let's bring in Valor for this Bengals Ravens before we get to our best bets. Valor.
All right. Hang on. All right. Got the roll and Discord stop being stupid.
Thank you.
And Valor, you're live.
Right.
Valor, thank you for being patient. Appreciate you. Sorry, we kind of had to go back on this one. But what are your thoughts on the?
That's on, man.
What are your thoughts on the Ravens and Bengals? By the way, thanks for the support and everything else, man. Appreciate you being here.
No problem. To be completely honest, I have very little expectations coming into this game. Being a fan of the Ravens and seeing what's been going on, I'm shocked this team hasn't given me a heart attack yet.
Yeah.
That's what my team is supposed to do.
Do you think Lamar Jackson is a Raven next year?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I could very well see that he's probably going to get the franchise tag, but there's a good chance that he says no to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So something tells me the Ravens might try to trade him if he gets put on the franchise tag. So that could be something to watch this offseason.
Do you want Baltimore to sign him to a large extension that he's going to ask for?
In my opinion, I think it's a little risky. In my opinion, Lamar's been showing in the past few years that he's injury prone.
It's a risk for sure. You just don't know. I mean, when you're paying a guy that much, you've seen bad contracts from the Broncos, from the Cardinals, there's a few teams that have given out bad contracts, and when you're looking at a guy like, that if you realistically look at his game and he's great in the regular season, but has he been able to do it in the playoffs? That hasn't been proven. Can he get the ball outside the numbers and kind of mix things up and use his arm talent to make the big plays? Like, I think that he's getting better at that, but I think there's still a lot to be desired.
I agree with your point, but in my opinion, I think his development got stinted by our offensive coordinator, Greg Roman. That's my opinion, because of the run-heavy offense.
Yeah,
it might
which
actually be worse than Canada.
Worked for a time, but My biggest beef with Lamar has always been he really loves to throw to the middle of the football field and just seems to really struggle. Unless on a deep ball, he can throw it outside the numbers. But like anything short and intermediate is all in the middle of the field. And I feel like that's easy to game plan for as far as him throwing the football, which is what you want Lamar to do. You obviously don't want him running the ball if you're the other team. So you're going to try and force him into throwing it. And I don't know if he can consistently do it to the outside. And when his playoff performances have been, in my mind, very, very underwhelming.
Yeah, I think the only decent one that he had was maybe the second Tennessee encounter, but his only touchdown was a literal him running himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's unfortunate that it looks like he's not going to probably play in this one. So, when it goes to the off season, how does that look when it comes to the contract negotiations and what he's expecting and what the Ravens are expecting to give him? And that's going to be a whole storyline for them.
And he's repping himself, so that'll be interesting. He does not have representation as far as an agent.
He has no agent, which tells me that this is going to be a very long off season with our fans. Pretty much up until recently, it was going to be a debate on: are we ever going to sign Roquan Smith, or are we going to give the big contract to Lamar? The Ravens obviously given the contract to Roquan, so.
And Roquan's been great. I feel like Roquan has been a nice piece for you guys, and I think that he's been an impact player for sure. But at the same time, impact players need to be quarterbacks. I'm seeing that in Denver with Pat Surtain. When we drafted him, yeah, he's an impact player, but quarterback is more of an impact regardless of the ceiling of Pat Surtain. You want a quarterback that can be impactful, that can take you to the promised land. A corner isn't going to do it. A defensive line, or a linebacker, isn't going to do it. Defensive lineman is not going to do it. It's whether or not you want to invest that money into a guy that you think or don't think is going to take you to the promised land.
Yeah, and I mean, G-Girl, I wish they would get some receivers. I mean, they've been hit with certainly some injuries this season. Obviously, they traded Hollywood Brown in the offseason, and kind of a surprise move there.
John Bateman being out for most of the year due to a foot injury.
Yeah. Devin Duvernay is struggling. What's his name that they drafted out of Minnesota?
That was Bateman.
Yeah, Rashad Bateman. So they've tried to, in the draft at least, to address the wide receiver position with Bateman and with Hollywood Brown, and it just, for whatever reason, the consistency or whatever isn't there. I don't know if they just missed on those draft picks, or is it partially Lamar's fault? I don't know for sure, honestly.
Partially Lamar, partially Roman, partially our conditioning staff.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah, pretty much a lot of factors. I could very well see the Ravens trading for a veteran or signing a veteran like Alan Lazard, or trading for DeAndre Hopkins or Cortland Sutton or Jerry Jeudy in the offseason.
Oh, Chris, your Denver wide receivers are headed to Baltimore.
I mean, we're gonna ship them all out to you guys over there, Valor. Yeah.
Denver's, from what I've been told, is going to be entering a partial rebuild. So
yeah, it's gonna be. They're gonna be shifting some pieces around for sure. I think that's gonna be a big piece of the offseason for them. So it wouldn't shock me if all of a sudden the Ravens end up getting a big time talent receiver, which again at that point, when it comes to Lamar, then you don't have any excuses. You have to perform if you have the pieces around you. But again, there's a contract negotiation going on ahead of that, so there's so many moving pieces for the Ravens that I guess it comes down to the bottom line of, do you think Lamar Jackson is the guy? If he is the guy in your opinion, then obviously you make that move. But that's the big question you have to answer going forward. Is he going to win you a Super Bowl? Scotty doesn't think so.
I don't hate me, but I've said the last couple years since we started the stream that, listen, Lamar's nice, but Lamar I just don't think Lamar is ever going to win a Super Bowl as a starting quarterback. I just don't think he can piece together the passing side of it enough consistently game after game in the playoffs to carry that team.
Which could very well see why the Ravens might tag him and then trade into a quarterback needing team.
I think the Ravens should not sign him to a long term. If I was a Ravens fan, I would. I know that probably means you take a step back in the short term, but long term, if he continues to be injury prone and he's not going to be the athlete forever that he is right now, like that, there's going to be some natural drop off there. And he's not he's not like an elite thrower of the football. He's just not, as far as quarterback play in the league. So I would steer away. I really would.
Devil Doc, get Jordan Addison. That'd be a huge upgrade. Michael, BKC, welcome in. If I was a top tier wide receiver, I would want to go to a team where I would get more targets. Obviously, I mean, if you're a top tier receiver, you want to get the ball. That's a gimme.
That's simply not possible in a Greg Roman offense, though.
The Ravens pride themselves on the running game, and even from the quarterback position, they use running as a big aspect of their offense. So, it's just always a limitation when you're playing against high-powered offenses that can score the ball downfield. I mean, the Bengals, in this matchup, presents that option. If the Bengals get up on the Ravens, a run-heavy team relies a lot on those kind of plays. You can't get into a game throwing the ball if it's not your strength against a team that is their strength with those receivers, with all the things that they have at their disposal. So even in the division, you're looking up at a team that is kind of a mismatch if you don't have the firepower to throw down the field and compete with some of these offenses. So it's going to be a predicament for the Ravens to think about moving forward. Guys, if you guys are enjoying the channel, hit that follow, hit that subscribe button. Twitch Prime, obviously, always subscribe to that. But Valor, thank you for popping in, man. Appreciate you being here, talking about your. I know it's okay to be like, oh man, I gotta. This is kind of, you never know what happens in the playoffs. Playoff football, anything can happen any given day. So
I do have a bold prediction, though.
Okay, what do you got?
With the lineman injuries to Bengals, I feel like this game is going to be a lot more close than everybody thinks it's going to be. I think this game is going to be a defensive battle, actually.
All right.
Okay. I mean, that could be.
I still have the Bengals winning the game, but that Ravens defense has been one of the best recently. They've only allowed like 13 or 14 points per game average with these past few games. The only outlier being last week while we were resting starters, but still. I think the key matchup for that game is, can the Bengals get to the Ravens defense early? Or can the Ravens defense neutralize Burrow?
Yeah, I mean, it could be. It just feels like it's two teams trending in different directions as far as, I mean, obviously the Bengals have won 8 straight. And
not to mention that doesn't matter either. Like the Ravens literally was like in 2019 where we've won like 12 straight games and then we get kicked in by Tennessee because we got so too cocky.
Yeah,
true.
Very true.
I mean, anything can certainly happen. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see this one, which is on Sunday night.
Yes,
right.
Sir. So, guys, we won't be live Sunday for our stream, knowing we are going to be traveling. I will be traveling, and we won't be doing the stream, but we're going to be hitting the rest of the playoffs hard. I don't have any other traveling outside of this. It's kind of a fluke. But make sure you guys, I'll have my NBA stream tomorrow, but hit that follow button if you're here. Like I said, you won't be sorry. Traveling, yeah, SGG. I got a wedding I got to go to. I will be gone Sunday. So I'm going to miss you guys, though. I will. Scotty and I will both miss you guys. Our schedule's been all over the place. Hey, Waltos, welcome in. First time chatter. Let's give him or her a nice welcome. Last 6 games for the Ravens haven't been against top offenses.
Well, that's not fully fair. One of those games was against your Denver Broncos, Chris.
Which was a top offense the last couple weeks of the season.
No, stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Come on, man. Give me something.
Give me anything.
All right, so here are our best bets of the week. By the way, I'm gonna keep. We're starting 0-0 in the playoffs, but I'm gonna keep all of our records up there for you guys to check out from the regular season. Waltos win. LOL must have been sleeping.
Yeah, he's in denial. It's fine.
Just like you normally.
I'm never in denial. I'm just always right.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
Always right.
You're all the way in Egypt. You're all the way in denial.
By the way, Waltos, who's your team and where are you from? We'd like to get to know you a little bit, man. Throw it in the chat. Love to get to know you. We have a great community here and see where you slide in with all of the other. We have so many fans from so many teams here, so it'll be good to see. There's everyone represented here. 49ers live in Houston. All right, fair enough. I love the 49ers. Obviously, this week, it's one of my best bets of the week, -9.5. I think it's going to be practically a blow. It's going to be a double-digit win for the San Francisco 49ers this week. So I love them. Also, Minnesota New York Giants under 48.5. I think this should be around 46, 47, somewhere in that range. I think that this one might be a little more run-heavy. I think that's where this one is headed in that game. Also, my money line parlay. San Francisco money line, Buffalo money line, Cincinnati money line, all parlayed together. I got a pretty good deal on it. It's not as good as it used to be earlier on in the week, but that's one of my best bets of the week. And then we both are on Jacksonville +2.5. I saw it go to +2.5, and it just looked a lot juicier than anything coming out of that Minnesota New York Giants spreads. So love that, Scotty.
Yeah, I mean, you stole my Jacksonville pick, so you just trailed me on that one. No, I'm just kidding. Giants +3 in a game that I could see going either way, and those teams play close games regardless of who they're playing. So give me the team with the plus points there. And then my favorite bet, teaser, Cincinnati down to -1 or even 2.5 is still good because you get it under 3. Anything under 3 on a teaser, you're fine there. And Jacksonville up to technically 8.5, I guess, Chris.
Yep.
Or we can keep it at 8. Doesn't really matter.
8.5.
And Dallas one, I'm just pulling out. I don't know. I might be crazy on that one, but I really want to see Tampa out of the playoffs, and the Cowboys very well could roll Tampa on Monday night.
Yeah, it's gonna be, man, those close ones. I think the Tampa Dallas game and the Jacksonville Chargers game is gonna be 2 games I can't wait to watch, just because I have no idea what's gonna happen. Like, literally anything can go down. The others, you kind of have a good idea. I think the only other one that is kind of in that same realm is Minnesota New York, but those are 2 teams that maybe I'm not as excited as I thought I would be.
Yeah. I mean, 3 of the 6 games are double-digit favorites. So, or no, I guess not double-digit, but at least 8.5-point favorites. So those are 3 pretty big spreads for a playoff game.
Yeah, which, it is what it is.
Even Ty went on here, said my team's gonna be finished after this weekend, with a purposeful misspelling, I believe, of finished. Chris.
Ty. Tampa's been playing so bad this year. Dallas gonna smoke them.
There we go, Ty. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just gonna keep saying it until it's in existence.
I'm just worried because the Cowboys are the better team 100%. I'm just worried that Tom Brady's gonna do Tom Brady things and piss us all off.
It will piss me off. I don't want to see Tom Brady smile on a field after a game ever again, if possible.
Waltos. If he goes to the Raiders, he never will.
Waltos would love to see Tampa back in San Francisco for one more week. I'd like to see it. I mean,
because you think that's an easy matchup, or because you think that'd be a fun game?
I don't know. I love your boys, Waltos, in San Francisco. I like them a lot. I mean, they've been doing a lot with a little from the quarterback position, and by a little, I'm not trying to take away from what's happening at the quarterback position, because no matter who they put back there, they're doing some good things. So, it's hard to go against. And you know what's crazy is we haven't mentioned Philadelphia once in like Philadelphia is still in the mix, right? Philadelphia is still out there.
I thought they were eliminated. They're not playing this week.
No, but like I'm just saying,
Just
everyone's all on San Francisco, and no one's talking about Philadelphia as much as what for what they did in the regular season. But
everybody's on San Fran. It feels like
everybody's on San Fran. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So interesting to think that how well Philadelphia did. No one's talking really about them. Gives them that little chip on their shoulder, that underdog mentality. So. I don't think they blow him out twice, but Brock should feel more confident against a team that has already. I mean they're familiar with this team, and I just think that it's just such a massive mismatch from. Seattle again. They've lost 5 of their last 8, and again 2 of those wins were against the Rams. I just this strikes me a lot like you just have a.
Yeah.
Easy schedule going into the playoffs, and
the Niners have obviously won 10 straight. Are we going to go back and look at their game 11 games ago where they lost by 3 touchdowns to the Chiefs? No, we're not going to talk about that one.
Carry there. I was waiting for that one. I was going to say we haven't mentioned the Eagles, but we also haven't mentioned the Chiefs in like 3 minutes, so we had to get that in too. Eagles over San Fran.
Speaking of having to get it in, we finally get our first Cooper Rush comment.
Of course.
No, we had a while back.
Did we? I didn't see it. I missed it. Thankfully, I missed it earlier. But Cooper Rush is going to save the day and eliminate Tom Brady from the playoffs.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, if Dak goes down and Cooper comes in and does that, I will never speak poorly of Cooper Rush ever again. Ever again.
Clip it quickly.
Yeah, clip it. There you go, guys. So that's where we're at tonight.